Hi scholars, I hope you're doing well. Now today we're going to finish our unit of season and weather. So the last season that we had not talked about, can anyone think of which season we haven't talked about yet? Spring. Very good. So let's review our chant so that we remember the seasons. Summer, fall, winter, spring. Okay, now we can do it all together. Summer, fall, winter, spring. Now, we had written down a lot of adjectives to describe summer, fall, and winter. Today, we're going to write about the spring season. And we will be using the same language pattern. But first, let's go over our learning goals. So here are our learning goals for today. I will name the 4 seasons. I will name a few characteristics of each season. I will draw pictures that show an understanding of each season. And today we're focusing on spring. I will write about, and today we'll write about the spring season. Okay, great. So let's start by listening to the last chapter in our book. So if you remember, we read about here's some vocabulary words that we went over. Now in chapter 1, we read about the summer. The trees are very green. In chapter 2, we read about the fall, and the trees are red with yellow and brown and green and orange. And the leaves start falling off the trees. In chapter 3, we read about the winter. The trees are bare, they don't have any leaves. They're filled with snow in some parts of the world. And today, let's read about the spring season. The weather in spring. People say that spring comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb. Why do you think people say this about the spring? It comes in like a lion. So maybe fast and fierce, quickly. And it goes out like a lamb. Maybe we don't notice it as much when it goes out. It's not as fast. Think about the weather in winter and the weather in summer to help you answer the question. By the end of spring, the temperatures are warmer and the days are longer. And here are some things people do in the spring. Many people play baseball in the spring. A picnic is a fun way to celebrate springtime because the weather is nice and breezy, it's sunny. Sometimes it rains, but then the sun is out and you can see a rainbow. And in some parts of the world, tornadoes happen. So tornadoes are dangerous. It's a very fast spiraling wind that picks up anything that crosses its path. And we don't have tornadoes in California, so we don't have to worry about that. So today, let's chart about words or adjectives about the springtime So in the spring, it is warm. So it's not hot like in the summer. It's not so hot, but it is sunny sometimes and it's warm. So it's pleasant. I'm gonna write warm. Warm. In the spring, it's sunny. So the sun comes out, it helps all the flowers start blooming and growing. Sunny. In the springtime, sometimes it is cool weather. So it's not so cold, it's not so hot, it's cool. It's nice and pleasant to go outside and have a picnic, like it said in the text. It's also rainy sometimes, so the water helps the plants grow and helps the flowers grow. In the spring, it is rainy. So when there are rain clouds, it gets cloudy. So we can describe it as cloudy. In the springtime, we get to go outside a lot, so it's fun. So we can describe it as being fun. Now, what do you think it looks like when all the flowers are out in the spring? What would be a good adjective if you were to describe something with a lot of flowers? Pretty. So in the spring, it's pretty. Beautiful. Pretty. Okay, so let's review what we learned about the springtime. So I'll say the sentence frame first and then you can say it. Okay, so we're using this language frame here that says in the blank, the weather is blank. So today we're going to say in the spring, the weather is blank. I'll leave that there. And let me get the word spring. Put it in our language pattern here. And we're going to say in the spring, the weather is warm. Your turn. Okay, now it's my turn. In the spring, the weather is sunny. Okay, my turn. In the spring, the weather is cool. Good, so remember, you repeat after me. In the spring, the weather is rainy. Now it's my turn again. In the spring, the weather is cloudy. In the spring, the weather is fun. It is fun weather. It's always changing and it's nice outside. And the last one says, in the spring, the weather is pretty. Great. So today you're gonna have to write about the spring season and draw some characteristics about it. So I already started mine. I will show you, and I have to think of which word I want to write in my story. So here's some magic. Ding! So I drew myself in the springtime. Let's put it here so you can see it. Okay, so here's Miss Aguirre. Now the sun is out, but it's raining, so I might see a rainbow. So if you want to draw a rainbow, you can do that. There's a lot of flowers growing in the springtime. I drew some of my favorites, tulips. I really like tulips. I'm wearing some rain boots. I'm wearing a raincoat. Okay. So let me write our language pattern. In the spring, so here it is. In the spring, the weather is, I'll write that for us. Remember, start with a capital and leave some spaces. In the spring, the weather is, in the spring, the weather is, I think I want to use the word warm today. So I'm going to pull it out and write it on my sentence. The weather is warm. In the spring, the weather is warm. Period. Remember, start with a capital, leave some spaces, put a period, and use your sounds. So now I'm gonna write what activity I can do in the springtime, and I'm gonna use my sounds and high frequency words for that. Now, what am I doing? Look at my illustration. So in the spring, I can go outside and hold an umbrella. I can walk in the rain. I can stomp on water, jump in the puddles. I think I like walk in the rain. Okay, so I'm going to write I can walk. So I'm going to use my sounds for that. I can walk in the rain. In the use your sounds for that. Period. And there is my story of the spring season. So remember, today we finished our unit of seasons. We're gonna write and draw some characteristics about spring season. That's the last season we hadn't talked about yet. And make sure when you finish, you can take a picture or a video and send it to me so I know what you learned about the spring. See you next time, scholars.